Now, sorry. Once we completed the first one, negation normal form, the another most important normal form is disjunctive normal form. It is simply denoted by DNF. Disjunctive normal form and conjunctive normal form, both are very, very important normal forms. Now, how do we convert the given sentence into disjunctive normal form? Let us try to understand. So, before going to discuss about how to convert it into disjunctive normal form, you try to understand the definition of disjunctive normal form, what it is. So, to do that, we should understand some important terminology here. The first term we are going to use here, it is min term. What do you mean by min term? A min term is a conjunction of literals. It is a conjunction of literals in which each variable is represented exactly once. What is the meaning of that? So, min term is nothing but, what do you mean by min term? It is a conjunction of variables. Suppose I am taking 3 variables, or suppose initially I am taking 2 variables like this, P and Q, 2 propositional variables which I am taking. Now, how do we get the min term of these 2 propositional variables? So, the min term of these 2 propositional variables are conjunction of what? Literals. We already discussed about the definition of a literal. A literal is a proposition or negation of proposition. A literal is an atom or negation of an atom. An atom is a what? A propositional variable. So, conjunction of literals means what? That means you have to take like this. This is a literal and this is also a literal. The conjunction of literals is called what? A min term. This is the way, one way we can write, or otherwise negation P or Q, because a literal may be a negation of a proposition. So, otherwise we can write negation of P or negation Q, or we can write P or negation Q. So, these are the different min terms which we can get by using what? These two propositional variables. If you take these 2 propositional variables, the following are the min terms, and min term is conjunction. So, conjunction means what? These are not correct. P and Q, negation P and Q, negation P and negation Q, P and negation Q. So, these are conjunction of literals is called a min term. These are all the min terms of the given 2 propositional variables, not compound propositional variables, only propositional variables. If you take these 2 propositional variables, you will get, in which each variable is represented exactly once. Suppose if you have P and Q and P, we can write that is what? If I have P and Q and P, still it can be written as P and P is equal to what? Only P. So, we can take it as only P and Q. Even though P appears 2 times, but by taking P and P is equal to what? You will get it is equal to P only. P and P is equal to P. Therefore, finally we can write P and Q only. That is what? In which each variable is represented exactly once. We represented, even though it is represented 2 times here, but after converting this into the form like this, P and Q, there each propositional variable appears only once. So, this is what we can call a min term. So, we use these min terms in what? Converting the given compound proposition into the form of a disjunction of disjunctive normal form. See, just now we discussed this point. Given 2 simple propositions P and Q, these are all called the min terms of P and Q. This is what we have discussed just now. Each min term is true for exactly one assignment. So, obviously it is true for exactly one assignment. Why? Because you know that P and Q will be true only when P is true and Q is true. So this minterm is true for only one assignment, that is if P is true and Q is true, then only it will be true. Similarly, if you take the second minterm and this assignment is true when P is true and Q should be false. If Q is false, then negation of Q becomes what? True. Then this assignment will be what happened? True. Similarly, here if P is false, Q is false, then this assignment will be true. Similarly, we can, if P is false and Q is true, then only it will be true. That is what? Each minterm is true for exactly one assignment. Why? Because we are taking the conjunction of the literals, and the conjunction of literals is always true when both are true. Then only it is true, otherwise it will be false. So for only one assignment only it will be true. Now coming to the definition of disjunctive normal form. So a disjunction of minterms is called disjunctive normal form. This is the definition of a disjunctive normal form. Disjunction of minterms. Just now we have given the definition of what is minterm. Minterm is nothing but what? Conjunction of literals. Conjunction of literals. What do you mean by a literal? It is a proposition or negation of proposition. Negation of proposition. Minterms are conjunction of the literals, and literal is a proposition or what? Negation of the proposition. So disjunction of minterms is called, or otherwise another way we can define it is disjunction of conjunction of literals is called a disjunctive normal form. Disjunction of conjunction of literals means what? So first you have to take the minterms. I am taking the minterms like this, P or Q, sorry, this is not a minterm, P and Q, this is how we are going to take the minterm. This is the one minterm. If you take two and P and Q and negation R, if there are three variables, then it is another minterm. And next P and negation R. I have taken the three minterms like this. Now if you take these minterms, the disjunction of what? All these minterms, you have to take the minterms like this and take the disjunction of these minterms, then it is called what? A disjunctive normal form. This is called a disjunctive normal form. So take the minterms of the given propositional variables and then take the disjunction of what? These minterms. First you have to take the conjunction of the literals and then apply disjunction to that, you will get a disjunctive normal form. So any formula, a compound proposition is given to you, if you want to convert it into a disjunctive normal form or disjunctive normal form, then you need to get that disjunctive normal form in this form. If you get the form like this, it is called in disjunctive normal form. A disjunction of minterms is true only if at least one of its constituents minterms is true. What is the meaning of this sentence? The disjunction of the minterms is true. That means this entire statement, whatever we have taken, is true. When it is true, if any one of this minterm, either this minterm is true or this minterm is true or this minterm is true, then the statement will be true. Why? Because the truth table of disjunction gives us that if any one propositional variable is true, then what happened? That the truth value of disjunction will always true. If both are false, then only it will false. If any one is true, then obviously you will get a true value. So therefore, it is not necessary that every minterm will be true so that we can get a true value. It is enough that at least one of the minterms should be true. Therefore, if it is true, false, false. Suppose if you take like this, suppose this is true and this is false and that is false. Still it will be true. Why? Because true or false is true and true or false is true finally. So now coming to the next slide, next topic, how do we get disjunctive normal form for a given compound proposition? Just now we discussed about, first in disjunctive normal form, we started with what is a minterm. A minterm is a conjunction of a literal. What is a literal? A literal is a proposition or a negation of the proposition. So disjunction of conjunction of literals is called what? Disjunctive normal form. But how do we, the next thing, once we know the definition, how do we convert the given compound proposition into the form of disjunctive normal form? What are the various methods are there to convert the given compound proposition into a disjunctive normal form? Generally, we can convert the given compound proposition into DNF by using two methods. The first method is called truth table method, but it is a tedious process. As we discussed already, why it is a tedious process. We are going to discuss how to convert or how to get a compound proposition into the form of DNF by using the truth table. The second form is by using logical equivalence laws. By using those laws, still we can able to convert the given compound proposition into the form of disjunctive normal form, and no need to go for truth table. If you have 3 or 4 or 5, more than 3 propositional variable will be there in the compound proposition, it is always better you have to use the logical equivalence laws to convert it into disjunctive normal form instead of doing it by using what? Truth table. So let us try to discuss first how to convert a given compound proposition into disjunctive normal form. So in this disjunctive, so what is the first one? What is the procedure? So let us try to discuss. If a function f is given by a truth table, determine exactly for which assignments it is true. For which assignments it is true. That means that suppose a function f is, formula f is given like this, p implies q implies r. Suppose if a function will be given like this to you, then what you need to do, after constructing, so if a function is given by a truth table, determine, what you need to determine, exactly for which assignments it is true. For which assignments it is true. That means you need to construct a truth table for the given compound proposition like R. For a formula f, you have to take P, Q, R, and then you will get, you can take Q implies R, and then you can go for P implies Q implies R. So you know how to construct the truth tables. We discussed already about these truth tables. You will get a truth table like this. So simply you will get a truth table like this. So because there are 3 variables are there, how many number of rows you will get? Which is equal to 2 cube is equal to 8 rows. You will get 8 rows here, and then you will get 8 rows, and finally you will get 8 rows. Suppose I got like this, true, false, false, true, like this I got false. Suppose 8 rows like this I got. Assume that like that the last column of the given formula, the truth values of the given formula in the last column we got like this. So you need to check what according to the given statement here, you need to check for which assignments this formula will be true. That means for this assignment, that means if you take true, true, suppose take true, true, true. For these three assignments, you got true value. And similarly, corresponding to this, suppose I am taking true, false, false. Assume that this is what you got, the truth value for this. Assume that these are the two true values we got, and remaining all are false values. So such assignments only you need to determine for which assignments of the given propositional variables this entire compound proposition will be true. That assignments only you need to consider, and remaining assignments no need to consider. That is what this sentence tells. That means we consider this is the one assignment and we consider this is the another assignment. So like this, because for these two assignments only, this formula will give you the true value. For the rest of the assignments, this formula will give you the false value. So, but we try to identify only the assignments which are true for the compound propositions. That assignments only we can consider. Now, once you are going to consider the assignments for which it is true, then what we need to do, we can select the minterms that make the function true and form the disjunction of these minterms. So how do we do that? Just now, suppose if you take for assignment P, Q, R, for suppose true, 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 this P implies Q implies R is true. This is the one assignment. The another assignment you can take it as like this, true, false, false, false. It is true. Suppose if false, true, true, suppose it is true. For these three assignments, if it is true, we got that. And for the rest of the assignments in the table, we got the false value for this compound proposition. Once you get the truth values, the first step you need to identify for which one it is true. That is already we discussed. We can select, what we need to select? The minterms. That makes the function true. So we can select the minterms that makes the function true. So what is the function true here? This is the function f which is true. For which assignments P is true, Q is true, R is true. You have to take those assignments in the form of minterms. That means what is the minterm? Just now we discussed, it is conjunction of literals. So for which assignments it is true, those assignments of propositional variables can be taken in the form of what? Conjunction of literals. That means P and Q and R. Why I am taking P and Q and R? Because P is true, Q is true, R is true. So therefore I am taking the minterm for this assignment. This proposition is true. Therefore the corresponding minterm for this assignment is P and Q and R. This is how you have to take. Similarly, for this assignment also, it is true. So what is the corresponding minterm? Since P is true, we can take only P, but Q is false and R is false. So therefore, we can write it as negation of Q and what? Negation of R. Like this we can write. Similarly, for this assignment, it is true. What is, so write the corresponding minterm for that, negation of P and Q and what? R, because Q and R are true, but P is not true. Therefore, we can take negation P. So this is how we can take the minterms and form the disjunction of these minterms. Once you get these minterms and take the disjunction of, so disjunction of these minterms means the first minterm or what is the second minterm? P and negation Q and negation R and R, and then you have to take the third one, negation P and Q and R. Like this you have to take the disjunction of minterms. If you take the disjunction of minterms like this, then that is what we can call disjunctive normal form. So this is what in the clearly as per the definition of disjunctive normal form just now we discussed, it is disjunction of conjunction of literals. Therefore, it is in disjunctive normal form. So, this is how we can convert the given compound proposition into the form of disjunctive normal form. It is a very simple method, but the only problem with this method is, if the number of propositional variables are going to increase, the construction of truth table is a complex process. That is the only limitation to this method. Now, I have given one truth table. This is for some function. I have given a truth table like this. If you observe that, this is a truth table which I have taken. F is some function. Let us leave it about the compound proposition what is given. For some compound proposition or for some function or for some formula, the truth table has constructed like this. Now, what we need to do? We need to get a disjunctive normal form of what? F. We need to find DNF. We need to find DNF of what? The given formula F. This is what we need to find. What is DNF of F? So, what is the first step? The step 1 is you need to determine for which assignments the function is true. That means F is true. So, here we will have a true value, here we have a true value, and here we have a true value. So, we have 3 true values in the given table. So, corresponding to what? These 3, this is the one assignment, this is the first assignment, and corresponding to this is the second assignment, and corresponding to this is the third assignment. So, you need to take, so there are 3 assignments for which the function will be true. It is already mentioned in the table. Once you have identified what these true values, what is the, we have identified the true values for which P, Q, R. If all are true, this is the one. So, another one is what? If you take second one, what is the second assignment? P, Q is 0, so negation Q, and R is 1, so you will take R. And what is the third assignment? 0, 0, 1, which indicates what? Negation P, negation Q, and R. So, in the first step, we have identified for which assignments the function will be true. For these 3 assignments, the function will be true. This is the first step. Once you get the first step, and in the second step, what you need to do? What you have to do in the second step? In the second step, convert these assignments, write for these assignments into what? Write these assignments into the form of min terms. How do we write that? So, P and Q and R. This is what? First, for the first one. For the first one, we can write like this. For the second one, what is the min term? P and negation Q and R. And what is the third one here? Negation P and negation Q and R. So, the second step, this is the min terms. We wrote the min terms for the assignments, and these are the assignments for which the function is true. Assignments we have taken, and then min terms we have written. And what is the third step? After writing the min terms, what you need to do? You need to take the disjunction of what? These min terms. What is the disjunction of these min terms? P and Q and R, or disjunction of P and negation Q and R, or negation P and negation Q and R. So, this is what the disjunction of what? All the given min terms from the given truth table. This is called DNF of the given formula. It is in the form of disjunctive normal form. This is how we can get the DNF of the given compound proposition by using a truth table method. Okay. So, I hope it is clear that how to get a disjunctive normal form by using a truth table method. Now convert the compound proposition into the DNF. So let us try to do one more example how to convert the given function compound proposition in DNF by using truth table method. So I have already constructed a truth table for this particular compound proposition. So I have taken 8 rows like this. So these are the 8 rows, true, true, true. So Q and R, true. You just check Q and R. When it will be true, if both are true, then only it will be true. Otherwise, it will be false. So 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0. You will get. And similarly, you will get P implies Q. When P implies Q will be false. If P is true, Q will be false, then only it will be false. In the remaining other cases, it will be true. So P implies 1 1. It is 1. P is here 1 and Q is here 0. Since P is true and this will be false, therefore you will get it is a false. And P is true and Q is false, therefore you will get a false. And P is true here, Q is false, therefore you will get a false here. In the similar way, you just go through the remaining table, you will get, because here this is false and here this is false, here it is true. So therefore you will get a true here. And 0 0 for which it is true, 0 0 it is true, 0 0 it is true. Now what is the first step here? Identify what? The true values. So for this is the one true value you will get. This is the another true value. This is the another true value. This is how many true values we got here? 5 true values for 5 different assignments. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 assignments are there. These are for these 5 assignments we got the true values for the given function what? F. If you take this function is f, then we got the true values like this. This is the first step what we have done. In the second step, what we need to do? From the above table we get, now this is the table. So what is from this table for the first assignment is what? PQR. Let us write the first assignment is, so the okay, I'm writing the first assignment here it is. What is that? Just directly I'm writing the min term of the given assignments are, here you can write, what is the min term of this given assignment here? P and Q and R, because all are true. This is the first assignment. And what is the second assignment? This is the second assignment. So this is the second assignment. So how do we write this? Negation P and Q and R corresponding to this. Similarly for this assignment, negation P and Q, this is negation P, Q and what? Negation R. This is for this. And 0 0 1, so negation P and negation Q and R for this. And finally negation P and negation Q and negation R for this. Like this you will get the 5 assignments. So once we get this 5 assignment, you have to take what? The disjunctive normal form of this particular. How do we get that? By taking the disjunction of all these min terms, you will get the disjunctive normal form. Okay, so this is how you will get it. So now we discussed about how do we convert the given compound proposition into disjunctive normal form using truth table method. What is the second method? The second method is converting the given compound proposition into disjunctive normal form using logical equivalence laws, which we discussed. So now coming to this one, so let us try to convert this using what? Logical equivalence laws. Now the given compound proposition is that, what is the given compound proposition? Negation of P implies Q and R. This is the given compound proposition. So this is first what we need to do when you want to convert a normal form, either it is a disjunctive normal form or a conjunctive normal form. If you want to convert it into the normal form, the first thing, if you need to check, the first and foremost point what you need to do, you need to check that whether it contains by implications or not first. Whether it contains a by implication. This is by implication, not by implication. If it contains by implication, if the given compound proposition contains the by implication, eliminate first it. Remember that? To convert it into any one of the normal form, the given formula, check that whether that formula contains a by implication or not. If it contains a by implication, eliminate it. How do we eliminate? So we suppose if I have P implies and implied by Q is there, which is logically equivalent to P implies Q and Q implies P. We discussed this in logical equivalence laws. So I have eliminated what now? By implication. That is the first step. This is step 1. Now coming to the second step, if the formula contains implication, you try to eliminate it first, and then second thing, first eliminate by implication and then eliminate what? Implication. The same formula what I did previously, P implies and implied by Q is written as, is logically equivalent to P implies Q and what? Q implies P. So how do I eliminate? Here these two contains what? Implication. How do I eliminate that? To eliminate that, you have to take negation of P or Q and negation of Q or P. Since P implies Q is logically equivalent to negation of P or Q. This is the elimination of implication. Elimination of implication. Now if you observe that this formula contains what? There are no implications, there are no by implications. So this is the second step, you try to do it. And coming to the third one, depending upon the formula which we are going to convert into any one of the normal form, either disjunctive or conjunctive normal form, you need to apply distributive law. What is distributive law? Suppose A or B and C. Suppose if it is given like this. Now how do we write? A or B and A or C. Like this will get. So what happened now? It is conjunction of disjunction of literals. So conjunction of disjunction of literals, that is called conjunctive normal form. Now if you want to get it into disjunction of conjunction of literals, you can take A and B or C. So A and B or A and C. Like this you will get. This is what? Disjunction of conjunction of literals. So first eliminate by implication if it contains, and then eliminate implication if it contains. If both are not there, straight away you can apply the logical equivalence laws to the given formula and then convert it. And then if possible, you have to take what? Distributive laws. either this or this, depending upon which form you are going to convert. So these are very, very important steps in conversion of a normal form. It may be either DNF or it may be either CNF. So by using this, we try to convert what? The given compound proposition. So negation of P implies Q and R. So this is what is given. So how do we write this? It is logically equivalent to, I am writing here, it is logically equivalent to, otherwise you can write here, it is logically equivalent to. So there is an implication inside the braces. So first try to eliminate implication. How do we eliminate? It is in the form of P implies Q or A implies B. That can be written as negation of A or B. That means negation of P or B is nothing but what here? Q and R. So by eliminating implication, we will get like that. And then it can be written as what? Finally. So now negation is there in front of the what? Given compound proposition. You need to push this negation inside the compound proposition. How do we do that? Negation of P, and negation of disjunction is conjunction, and then negation of Q and R by using what? De Morgan's law. De Morgan's law. And then you have to write negation of P is what? P. And again, because this negation appears in front of the compound proposition, again push it. What you can get? Again apply De Morgan's law for this. Negation of Q or negation of R. By using the De Morgan's law, again the same law what we discussed here, the same law we used here. Now if you observe that, what we need to get? We need to get DNF. What is DNF? It is disjunction of conjunction of literals. So to get that, if you observe that this is A and B or C form. So apply what? Distributive law. Distribution of conjunction or disjunction. So how do we do that? P and negation Q or P and negation R. This is how we can get. So if you observe that this is a min term or conjunction of literals, and this is a min term, and these two min terms are connected by a logical connectivity what? Disjunction. So disjunction of min terms is called what? DNF. So this is the DNF of the given compound proposition. So if you know the logical equivalence laws, it is very easy to construct the given compound proposition for the given compound proposition disjective normal form.